Gwen Stefani's rare picture of Blake Shelton has to be seen to be believed. Now that's quite the throwback. Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton have been showing fans that they're just as deeply in love now as they were the first day they met, and it's only getting stronger. To display her affection for her new husband, Gwen shared with fans a throwback picture of Blake that really doesn't even look like the same person. She posted the black and white shot on her Instagram stories and attached with it a couple of cute lovey-dovey stickers. The photograph seemingly was from Blake's early career in the 90s, as he rocked some long and curly locks that would make anyone with that hairstyle jealous. The country singer intensely stared at the camera as his hair covered one eye, almost like Heath Ledger during his 10 Things I Hate About You phase. Devoted fans of the couple will notice that the snap is from the same era as the one on Blake's Instagram profile picture, featuring him with his longer do and Gwen during her No Doubt era. The husband and wife are currently on the road together as Blake just kicked off his Friends and Heroes tour, which had been postponed due to the pandemic. The rich girl singer recently told her fans about a moment of concern she had for Blake as he was returning to touring. In a series of clips she shared on her stories, she revealed that she was with her husband while he rehearsed for the performances. Gwen, however, looked concerned as he performed to the empty stadium, as she wrote on the picture, Blake Shelton vowed to tour at same venue we had to cancel beginning of this craziness. She even added some fingers crossed emojis and a praying sign after her message as she worriedly wondered whether everything would work out well. Blake Shelton squaring off with Gavin Rossdale over adopting Gwen Stefani's kids? Is Blake Shelton trying to adopt Gwen Stefani's kids? One tabloid insists Shelton isn't satisfied with just being their stepdad, but Stefani's ex, Gavin Rossdale, keeps getting in the way of their plans. Blake Shelton wants to adopt Gwen Stefani's sons? According to a recent edition of Woman's Day, Blake Shelton is determined to legally become the father of Gwen Stefani's 3 sons. Shelton and Stefani recently tied the knot, making Shelton the boy's new stepfather, but the tabloid insists the country star isn't satisfied with his new title. An inside source dished, Blake loves those kids like they were his own already. He doesn't want to just be a friend to them, he wants to properly become their dad. Shelton recently gushed about how much he admires Stefani's children. I can't imagine my life without these kids now, Shelton mused. But the magazine reveals the boy's father, Gavin Rossdale, isn't willing to hand over his parental rights. Gavin's not willing to give Blake an inch on this subject, the insider informs the magazine. He's sounding a firm no and doesn't appreciate Blake trying to steal his kids away. Blake Shelton and Gavin Rossdale fighting over parental rights? So, is it true Shelton is trying to adopt Stefani's kids? Of course not. This story is nothing short of delusional. First of all, the tabloid fails to provide a satisfactory reason for why Blake Shelton isn't happy just being a stepfather. Furthermore, it's unclear why he'd want to revoke Rossdale's parental rights for seemingly no reason. Shelton has never expressed any discontent with being the stepfather of Stefani's kids. In the very same interview the magazine quotes, Shelton said, "I have a stepfather in my life who is one of my heroes," adding, "I love my stepfather and he's like a father to me, so I have a good inspiration in my life on how to do this and the kind of stepdad I want to be." Shelton clearly understands how much value and positivity a stepfather can contribute to a child's life. There's nothing to suggest he's pursuing Rossdale's parental rights at all. Besides, we already debunked this story when the National Enquirer published it. The tabloid even used a lot of the same quotes like he doesn't want to be just a friend to them, he wants to properly become their dad, and Gavin's not willing to give Blake an inch on this subject. He's sounding a firm no and doesn't appreciate the way Blake's trying to steal his kids away. Obviously, this story is just a ripoff of another completely fictional report and therefore shouldn't be taken seriously. Other adoption stories from the tabloid. This isn't the first time Woman's Day has gotten it wrong about a celebrity adopting a child. Back in 2019, the magazine reported Jennifer Aniston was adopting her brother's children. Then the tabloid alleged Katie Holmes secretly adopted a baby. And more recently, The magazine claimed Sandra Bullock's boyfriend left her because she wanted to adopt another child. Obviously, Woman's Day can't be trusted when it comes to adoption stories. Life without these kids now, Shelton mused. But the magazine reveals the boy's father, Gavin Rossdale, isn't willing to hand over his parental rights. Gavin's not willing to give Blake an inch on this subject, the insider informs the magazine. He's sounding a firm no and doesn't appreciate Blake trying to steal his kids away.